Good morning, my wonderful things. Welcome back to the Cabinet of Secrets. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Kasara. If you have a fascination with the weird, strange, and creepy, become a thing today by clicking that subscribe button below me. To the new things, thank you so much for your support. You're amazing. I appreciate you all so much. I know this would be better if it was live, and I agree with you. I have still been looking at other alternatives. I will keep you updated on Twitter of what I'm thinking. Some point soon, I hope, and hopefully it'll actually work. I don't know, to be honest. As some of you know, this is Doll and Clown Month, which should be fun. I think anyways. Everyone has heard of Gacy, of course. He's notorious. But there have been other clown incidents and legends over the years. And I do apologize, this is going to be a long video because there's a lot of clown cases that I did not know about. For instance, in May 1990 in Wellington, Florida, a clown pulled into Marlene Warren's driveway carrying a bouquet of flowers and 2 balloons. The clown offered these items to Warren, and witnesses notified the police that the clown then pulled out a gun and shot Marlene in the face. As Warren fell to the ground, the clown calmly walked back to their car and disappeared for the next 27 years. Sheila Keane Warren was arrested in the Appalachian Mountains. And here's why she was arrested for this murder. So, Sheila worked at Marlene's husband Michael's car dealership and was having an affair with Michael. Sheila at the time was 27, a recent divorcee. Employees told investigators that the two were frequently taking long lunches, and Michael started paying Sheila's rent. Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious, now does it? Hours after Sheila killed Marlene, a worker at a costume shop called the police and said a woman had purchased a clown costume 2 days prior and even picked Sheila out of a photo lineup in 1990. Clerks at a grocery store also told police that Sheila purchased flowers and balloons 90 minutes before the murder. However, investigators at the time didn't have enough probable cause to make an arrest, which to me doesn't make any sense because here you have this woman who's having an affair with the victim's husband. 1. 2, bought a clown costume and flowers and balloons. How is there no probable cause? That makes no sense to me whatsoever, but whatever. What do I know? Michael, on the other hand, faced legal trouble and was sentenced to prison in 1992. And no, not for murder. He was found guilty on 43 counts of odometer tampering, grand theft, and racketeering. After being released from prison, he left South Florida. The case was reopened into Marlene's murder because of the advances in DNA analysis. They soon learned that Michael Warren and Sheila Keane were married a dozen years after Marlene was murdered, and they both were operating a restaurant in Tennessee together. Yeah, that doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out. However, investigators wonder if Michael actually was involved in the murder of Marlene, either by putting Sheila up to it or in some other way. And who knows? I guess it's possible, because he didn't seem that upset about the death of his wife. In 2013, an infamous member of a long-feared Mexican drug cartel, Francisco Raphael Arlano Felix, was shot to death at a rented beach house in Los Cabos, Mexico, by a gunman dressed as, you guessed it, a clown. Relatives confirmed the identity at the scene. Felix was best known for controlling the drug trade in Tijuana in the 90s alongside his brothers. The arrest or death of many of the cartel's leaders stunted the power of the gang. The former cartel leader was behind bars for more than a decade following his 1993 arrest in connection with the murder of a Roman Catholic cardinal. No one knows who murdered Felix, and since it's been almost 10 years, the police may never find the person. It is speculated, though, that it could have been somebody from an opposing gang or somebody that was wronged by Felix. However, these are just pure speculation. There's no evidence pointing in either direction. However, the terror of real clowns dates back even further. In May of 1981, Brooklyn, Massachusetts, children at Lawrence Elementary started reporting 2 clowns driving a black van offering them candy. School principals were warned of the clown threat, leading to a rash of reported sightings across Boston. However, no clowns were ever found. In Kansas City, Missouri, a few days after the incidents in Brooklyn, police received multiple reports of a knife-wielding clown in a yellow van. Parents of children who were attending Our Lady in St. Rose School were informed of the situation, which included a report of a character jumping out of bushes and threatening children with a knife. Yeah, that's traumatizing for a little kid. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, there were reports of menacing clowns, which the police were the first to draw a connection between the clown sightings which occurred in black neighborhoods in Pittsburgh and Kansas City, along with the Atlanta child murders that occurred the summer before, which also targeted black children. However, I'm not sure if anything came of that connection. 7 years later, across the 3-county area, children started calling police with stories of a malevolent clown offering rides in a red pickup truck. In one case, pursuing a child on foot. No arrests were made, and the pickup driving clown disappeared. 3 years later, in Erie, Pennsylvania, more than 40 children and some of their parents reported a clown prowling backyards and looking through windows. A local bank was robbed by a man in a clown suit, which the police dismissed as a copycat once he was apprehended. The original clown, however, disappeared. That same year of 1991, Chicago police became overwhelmed with reports from local schoolchildren of a man dressed as Homie D. Clown from In Living Color, offering them candy to ride in his van. Children variously reported the van to be blue, white, or red, but agreed that it had the words "haha" painted on the side. An 8th grader claimed they punched the clown in the nose. Several weeks later, in Elgin, an adult reported seeing a clown abduct a girl. However, no clowns were ever found at the end of the clown spree. A year later, in 1992, in Rock Hill, South Carolina, a wave of clown sightings came to an end when 4 teenage boys were arrested for dressing as clowns and tormenting local children. The boys, however, weren't charged, since the authorities couldn't find a law the teens broke, which I'm pretty sure there probably was, or maybe today there would be, but I guess things change. That same year in Galveston, Texas, the police and local news outlets were flooded with calls about an evil clown after a small girl reported a clown tried to kidnap her. The clown in question was sighted almost exclusively near schools. Police downplayed the severity of the reports, and the investigations led to no arrests. And I actually started noticing a trend. It seems like the police weren't taking these reports seriously and didn't investigate them like they should have. Just my opinion, that's all, but it just seems like they didn't really care. In 1994, in Washington, D.C., in the 7th District, police were receiving numerous reports of a clown trying to lure children into his van. They declined to investigate. By November, the lack of police attention, as well as the disappearance of a small boy, caused local activists to target police, stating that the police were ignoring crimes reported by black citizens. And I'm sorry, but it honestly looks that way. It looks like they just ignored the reports that children and parents were saying over the years about these clowns, or men targeting them and trying to kidnap them. It just seemed like they weren't doing enough to protect and serve the population. Just my feelings. In August 1997, in South Brunswick, New Jersey, 6 clown incidents occurred in both South Brunswick and Howell in a matter of weeks. Local children reported a clown leaping from behind trees outside local housing projects, then laughing maniacally. Police set up patrols of the area, but believed the sightings were unrelated. In late August, a man who, according to police, did not have an adult mental capacity, was identified as the clown and sent for psychiatric evaluation. He couldn't offer an explanation for why he was doing what he was doing. October 2008, in Chicago, exactly 17 years after the Homie D clown incidents, reports of a mysterious clown luring children spread across the city. The newspapers ignored the claims. However, the local news let parents know that the police issued an alert warning of a clown driving a white or brown van. No arrests were made. In October 2014, Fishers, Indiana, a resident took a picture of a creepy clown appearing around town, carrying balloons. In August of 2016, Greenville, South Carolina, a wave of clown sightings began, which I'm sure some of you remember. I know I did, and I was freaked out. So, children reported hearing noises and seeing people with clown face paint. One resident claimed to have seen a clown with a blinking nose standing beside a dumpster at 2:30 in the morning. Other children came forward claiming clowns attempted to lure them into the woods with money, and that the clowns lived in a house by a pond deep in the woods. A week later, more reports surfaced of clowns simply staring at Greenville, Greenville residents near laundromats and next to woods. However, police couldn't locate a single clown in question, which left people wondering if this was just a hoax or some kind of marketing ploy. However, these incidents weren't just in South Carolina. They actually spread throughout the country and the world. There was actually a few reports, I believe, in Italy and Spain. I could be wrong. In Marion County, Florida, a person named Parmalee was parked to film a person with white sinister face paint lurking in the brush along a dirt road. Another Florida resident, Kelly Reynolds of Palm Bay, took up running after seeing two clowns while walking her dog. A machete-wielding clown tried to lure a woman into a wooded area in Forsyth County, North Carolina. Two children were offered candy by a clown if they followed it into the woods. In Henrico and Augustus counties, parents and children reported seeing clowns leering at them from cars or on the edge of a forest. However, in Augustus, the clown wandering the forests was Angus Brown, supposedly, a 12-year-old who put on his Halloween costume on a month early. At least his mother claimed this. Holly Brown. She stated to the police that he was excited about the holiday and meant no harm. However, reports kept escalating across America. If the true crime cases aren't terrifying enough, there have been legends surrounding killer clowns as well. Sprinkles, the killer clown, and Wrinkles the clown, which I'm sure you've probably heard of Wrinkles. I actually heard about Sprinkles in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark when I was a kid. However, the Sprinkles legend actually dates further back. In 1973, a caravan of circus performers were making their way across the Appalachian Mountains. It wasn't a busy part of the circus season, however, a bad winter storm set in. As the troop rounded the many turns coming down the mountain, the icy roads got the best of the caravan, and several cars found their way off the road and over the hills. One of the vehicles carrying 4 clowns was never discovered. However, several weeks later, 2 of the 4 clown performers were found walking down from the mountains with only their pants on. They drastically needed medical attention since frostbite from the storm robbed them of most of their digits on their hands and feet. After months of receiving care, the police questioned them about the other 2 clown performers from the wreck. The performance story wasn't a happy one. They claimed the third guy had died instantly from the wreck, whereas the 4th entertainer, known as Sprinkles, used the dead body to feed the rest of them. He kept them tied up like hostages in the wreck. It wasn't until one of the survivors got his hands free to take the upper hand on Sprinkles long enough for them to make their escape. They left Sprinkles lying in an ice-cold stream. They assumed the water's temperature would have killed him. However, pictures were taken on a trail cam in eastern Kentucky indicating Sprinkles may still be alive to terrorize more people, or at least his spirit is. Whereas the story of Wrinkles the clown went viral after a video showed him crawling out from underneath a little girl's bed, which also became a documentary on, I think, Hulu. Wrinkles got his name because of the mask he wears, which is a droopy face with black eye sockets. For a few $100s, the performer would scare children to behave. Stickers could be found around Florida with a phone number offered a way for parents to contact him. In the documentary, the man claiming to be Wrinkles is actually an actor hired to portray Wrinkles, which tells me the documentary is probably similar to the Blackwell Ghost film. Not real, but made to cause people to believe it's real, which gives those films a sense of dread when you watch them. However, I could be wrong. Maybe Wrinkles is real or was a real individual paid to torment children to behave for their parents or whoever. What are your thoughts on these cases and murderous clowns? Do you think people should be afraid of clowns? Or are they nothing more than a few rotten people causing a distrust of these once trusted performers who brought laughter to audiences across the world? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Later tonight, I'll be reviewing Haunt, which technically isn't really a clown movie, but it could be considered one since there is one entertainer, and I say that loosely, is wearing clown makeup and wig. There will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, the film is available on Shudder. If you don't have Shudder, you can probably rent it on Amazon or Vudu or one of those sites. If you don't want to miss that, click the bell icon to never miss a video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It greatly helps me in the channel. you can't wait for more content, be sure to check out my other videos on the screen. Thank you so much again. Take care until next time. I hope you all have a delightful weekend. Bye, everyone. And I guess my character wants to dance. Oh, yeah. She's ready for the weekend. Bye, everyone.